Necklie. Yes, the plural for necklace is necklie. Here we go. Pardon me. Just sneezing, it'll take care of everything. All right, here we go. That's like your hit. That's your hit. A secret weapon. You need to use it as that now, doesn't she, Joseph? Here we go. All right, so we were talking about the ambiguous case. Thank you for correcting her. It is ambitious to think you're ambiguous. I know. All right, here we go. So we're going to look at and see what happens, because I told you we looked at the case when no triangle exists. Then there are the other two cases. Remember, 3 cases. No triangle exists. We looked at an example yesterday. And then there are the case of 2 triangles exist. And folks, what that means is you solve for both. That's like an evil assignment from a really mean teacher. That, he. And then you have one case where there's only one triangle. Okay? Now, here's the deal. When we are looking at all right, we're ready? All right. Yes? Okay. But I am recording. I am recording. So you can always go back and watch the recording. Shit. Oh, I'm in a fine mood. Really. I really am. Why wouldn't you be in a good mood? I mean, it's a beautiful day. In the neighborhood, it's Tuesday. Tempting Tuesday. Tempting Tuesday. Terrific Tuesday. Yes. It's not Monday. That's right. Thank goodness. We don't need to act that out. Here we go. So, draw the triangle. We don't care. We do not care what it looks like. I've got angle A is 30 degrees. Side A is 10. Side B is 16. Why? Because it's side, angle. So it is, nope. Start with the side. Don't start with the angle. Don't be a, you have to start on one side or the other. Yes, that's true. Okay, can I teach? Here we go. So, step 1, solve like normal. Everything appears to be just like we need it to be. I'm going to tie my angle to my side so that I'm going to have sine of 30 over 10 is equal to, what's the only other thing I have to use? The 16 has to go on the bottom so that sine of what goes on top? B. Thank you. No way. Okay, thank you very much. Excuse me, sorry I got in your way. Here we go. So, calculator, Calculator. Come on, calculator. Yep. All right, there we go. Now, let's solve. So we've got, I'm going to go ahead and write this out. Sine of 30 times 16 is equal to 10 times sine of b. Of course, I'm going to divide by what, y'all? Divide by 10. Okay? And now I'm left with the sine of b is equal to, calculator, sine of 30 times 16 divided by 10, which is 0.8, right? Can I find the measure of angle B if the sine of that angle is 0.8? Yes, it falls between my -1 to +1. So in order for me to find B, I'm going to take the inverse sine of 0.8, inverse sine of 0.8, and it gives me approximately 53.1. Are y'all with me? Yes or no? Okay. So my angle measure is approximately 53.1. Now, you're going to have to pay very close attention to your instructions, whether it's a worksheet, whether it's out of the book, whatever, because sometimes it will tell you to round to your nearest whole number. If that were the case, of course, we would have approximately 53 degrees, right? All right. If it's for me, I want it rounded to the 10th place, so I'm going to leave it as 53.1 degrees. I'm going to put it in my picture with my pretty little class. Now, here's the deal. Because this is a side-side angle case, we have to consider that there are two triangles that this is possible for. Okay? We do the first part like normal, but now is when it splits into something else. So the second step is to figure out what that other angle could be. So I'm going to take the same triangle. I'm going to copy it down, ABC. I got to put all the information in there. 3010. Put the same information we have right now in this triangle. 16. And then we just found angle B to be 53.1 degrees. Do you guys agree with me? Okay. That means that angle C can be what measure? 180 minus 53.1 minus 30, which is what? 96.9? Now, go ahead. And you need to break it down. And I'm getting ready to show you why. Okay? I would totally recopy it. Some of you are not going to do it. If I told you I'm going to count off points if you do not write another triangle, then that would be the only way some of you would do it. Doesn't matter. But I'm going to write it, and you'll understand why I want you to write it separately. Now, here's the thing, folks. The other option could be this. If that angle C is 96.9, we have to find the supplement. We have to solve it this way using 53.1, but we also have to find angle B's supplement. Because remember, this could be two cases. We're not sure, but we're going to see if it is or not. What does supplement mean? You got to go back to geometry. What does that mean? What number do you attach to supplementary? 180. So folks, what we have to do is we have to take 180 minus 53.1, figure out what that difference is for me. I'm going to rewrite everything in here. 126.9. So, is it possible, you know, we've already solved this one partially, but is it also acceptable and possible to have a triangle with a 30-degree angle, 126.9, and if that is 126.9, then that makes angle C what? How do we find out? Take 180 minus what you just said, okay? So here we go, 180 minus 126.9 minus 30. And what is that difference? 23.1. So we got 23.1. So it's possible. Oh, crap. Now I have two triangles. Now what do I do? Now you solve both of them. Now it's just like having, guys, this is like having three problems in one. Really? I know. All right, so we have, what do we have to do? When you see side-side angle and you get an angle that will work, like 53.1, you find its supplement, draw the two triangles. We got 53.1 over here, our original angle B. And then we have to find its supplement over here, okay? Our supplement triangle. I'm sure there's a better term for it. And then we solve, okay? Here's what you need to do. You need to find the other missing side. And you need to do that now. How are you going to find it? Using what? Law of sines. Find side AB for this triangle, the original angle B, and then find side AB for our supplementary triangle. Do that now. You do that now. So did you find C? All right, let's talk about the original triangle, right? When you cross multiplied, when I cross multiplied, I have 10 times sine 96.9 equal to sine of 30 times C, divide by sine of 30. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I've got sine of 96.9 times 10 divided by sine of 30. Nope. So I get approximately 19.9? Okay, good. 19.9 for that side. All right, look at it. Is my largest angle across from my largest side. I have to check it because my triangle's not drawn to scale. 96 degrees, almost 20, 53, 16, 30, 10. All of my sides correspond with their opposite angles or sides. And then we have to solve for this next one over here. 10 times sine of 23.1 is equal to sine of 30 times C, divide by sine of 30. Folks, when I put that in my calculator, what do you get? Approximately what? 17.8? 7.8. How many of you had both of those correct? All right, let's look back at our picture and check it just to be on the safe side. 7.8. 126.9 across from 16. Well, that's definitely my largest angle, definitely my largest side. And then, Is that right? Yeah, it's right. Questions at all? How many problems did we do in one? We did 3 different problems, y'all. 3 separate problems, all dealing with one. And this may happen to you every problem you work. If it does, you just suck it up and do it. Okay? No. No, you don't skip it. Here's another one. Questions at all? Is this doable? Okay. You don't like it, but it's doable, right? It is. Here's another one. I want you to do this one. I want you to solve. How? Triangle ABC. If A is 43.1, side A is 186.2, and side B is approximately 248.6. You got to start somewhere, folks. What are you going to be solving for first? Angle B. You'll be solving for angle B first. Okay? So solve for that and see what you get. Folks, did you get that the sine of B is approximately 0.9123? And then when you took the inverse sine of that value, what did you get angle B to be? 65.8. How many of you had 65.8? Okay. Yes, you did? No, you did not. Did you... Yeah, that's why it'll tell you to round to the nearest whole number. But let's look at it. So sine of 43.1 times 248.6 divided by, no. Sine of 43.1, enter, times 248.6, enter, divided by 186.2, enter. Did you get 9.22, blah, blah, blah? Second sine, second answer. I don't want to type all that in. 65.8. You put in 0.9123. Oh, that's it. Yeah, oh, no. If you round that number, don't ever round that number to 2 digits. If you look in the back of, I don't know if it's in the trig book or not, but if you look in the back of all Algebra 2 books, trig books, the old ones, folks, we didn't have this back in the day. It ain't really been that long. It is to y'all, longer than y'all been alive. But anyway, but all we had were scientific calculators. And some of those didn't have the sine, cosine, tangent. So there's a table in the book. I don't know if it's in the trig book. It might be in the trig and the Algebra 2 book. But there's a value of trig. There is a trig table of values, and they are rounded to 4 decimals. Don't ever round that number. This 0.9123 number, don't ever round that to 2 decimals. Always at least give it 4 decimal places, or just put that answer, because that way it's picking up that whole value, which is going to be more accurate. 0.9122548888 or 0.91. You know, which amount of money would you rather have? I'd rather have the one with the more numbers. Yeah, okay? So, anyway, B is approximately 65.8. Now, what do? Two triangles, right? So we're going to have our two triangles. I'm going to save C for later because there's no sense in doing that right now. So I've got ABC, which is what I just had, 65.8, 248.6, 43.1 is the opposite, 186.2. And then you have your second triangle. We have to see if it's going to work. 43.1, 248.6, 186.2, but what do we put for B? I take the original 65.8 and I take it away. We have to find its supplement. What is that value? 114.2. Is that doable? Can I find an acceptable angle C? What's going to happen in this problem? How many of you are still working to solve everything? Keep working. We'll come back in just a moment. 10. That's a good question. Let me record that. How do you know it's going to be two triangles? Okay? This is how I know. When I get this angle B, which is 65.8, and I throw it in my first triangle, okay? Then if I can find an acceptable measure for angle C, 180, and when I mean acceptable measure, when I subtract these others out of here, okay, and I get something, minus 65.8 minus 43.1. Shoot. What am I hitting? Minus 43.1. 71.1, right? So if I can get measures that equal, what was that, 73.1, 71.1? Thank you. Now, when I can get measures that work, let me come back over here and make these triangles total up to 180 degrees, that's how I know I'll have two triangles, okay? But when I find that first one, the one that we found, 65.8, I have to find its supplement. That's an automatic. But it's only when, and we didn't do it. When we're looking at this problem, what did we not do to begin with? We did it here.
Label it.
We didn't label it, okay? When you have side-side angle, that's when that caution, you got to hear it in your head. Caution, 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 caution. Because this is that freaky time when we've got to just check all of our possibilities, okay? And then come down here and make sure, you know, what do we find C to be? 180 minus 43.1 minus 114.2. What did you find angle C to be, y'all? 22.7. Does that work? Yeah, it works. You're going to get to a point, though, that this might be 160 something, this angle B. Y'all, if you get that the supplement is equal to 160 something, and the second angle in the triangle is 43.1, is that possible? No, and that's when the case is only one triangle, which is, guess what, our next example. Finish this one, though. We got to finish finding the missing pieces. Go ahead, Megan. Exactly. I wouldn't. Because why do that up here when I'm going to have to do it down here anyway? Okay? Have you guys found the missing pieces? All of the missing pieces? Still working?
All right. On the second one, I got the first.
Right?
We break it down. The second one, I got the 114.2, and I got that.
Right?
I don't understand how you did that. How you get 43.2.
It was given in our original triangle. It was given in our problem. Angle A is 43.1.
You take the new angle and then the other angle that you're given to get.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All of your given information has to go in. And do you guys see how I have to separate this with my colors? You may want to put your given information with a color pencil in your pictures. But I'm very visual, so I have to draw it and I have to see it. I may want to do that for every problem just so I know what my given information is. Okay? Are we ready to find those missing pieces, those missing sides? All right, here we go. We got to find what side? We got to find C. All right, remember, start with your given information, which is going to be, excuse me, sine of 43.1 over 162, 186.2, which is equal to sine of 71.1 over C. Do the math. What do you find C to be? 257.8? All right, and is that acceptable? 257.8. Happiness, that's the largest angle, largest side. Yep, we're good, right? Go to the next one, because I don't need to show you how to cross multiply this one. Let's go with green on this. Same thing, sine of 43 over 1 over 186.2 is equal to sine of 22.7 over C. What do you find C to be for the second triangle? 105.2. Is that what you guys got? 105.2. Does that make sense? Definitely. That's my smallest angle, my smallest side. My largest side is 248.6 across from my largest angle. Questions at all? All right. No. Any questions at all? If you weren't here, go back and watch the video from yesterday and you'll figure it out. Really, it's not difficult at all. It's a lot of work, but it's not difficult. All right. Solve this one. Solve the triangle ABC if angle A is 107 degrees, side A is 17.2, and side C is 12.2. I want you to do that one yourself. See what you end up getting. First of all, label the triangle. Is this side, angle, side, angle, side, 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 angle? This is, how do you know? Some of you will look at it like that. Oh, there's two sides given in an angle. I'm not going to be able to do that until I literally see it on my triangle. Okay? Side, side, angle. I see it now. So that's when you ought to hear the bells and whistles. Caution, 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 caution. No triangle, one triangle, two triangles. What's the option? Which case does this fall in? And you know where it's going to go. Show it. Show it. How do you know if it's no triangle exists? Sine of the angle is outside of that -1 to +1 range. Okay? Good question. Oh. Why did the second triangle look odd? Because that second angle was just weird. Throw it out. All right, here we go. Let's check this out. Looks like we're going to solve for angle C first. Do you guys agree with that? Tying these together. So that means I'm going to have sine of 107 over 17.2 is equal to sine of C equal to 12.2. Yes? All right, let me look at this. Calculator, calculator. Come on here, calculator. When you feel like it. There we go. So I've got, was it 12.2? Times sine of 107, yes? And I'm going to divide that by 17.2. So that means sine of C is 6.78 blah, blah, blah. 0.678, I think that's what I saw. 6783 blah, blah, blah. Inverse sine of my answer. Did you get 42.7? Hands up. Good. All right, so we've got angle C is approximately, what did I say, 42.7? All right, so my angle C is 42.7. Okay, so let's check this out. First triangle, 107, 42.7. First thing you need to do is say, okay, what's my third angle? Well, I can look at that and tell that 107 plus about 43 is going to fall under my 180. What does that make this top angle become? 180 minus 107 minus 42.7. One more time. 30.3. All right, that works. Now let's look at the other one. Because this is the one that I have to throw that supplementary angle in. So I've got 180 minus 42.7. Folks, what's that give me? 130.3. A triangle has to total to how many degrees? The angles have to equal 180. Well, two of those angles, they already equal 144.3. 244.3, right? Say what? No, that's not right. What do I do? This is what you do. Only one triangle exists. That's what you do. And then you go to the other one and you finish solving it. Okay? So now all we have left to find is that missing side B, yes? And I'm going to use what I started with, my original information, sine of 107 over 17.2 is equal to the sine of 30.3 over B. How many of you had already found that? All right, once you do all the calculations across multiplying and dividing, what did you find side B to be? 9.1, which should go here with a cloud because it makes me happy. How many of you had that? This is a lot of work. I know it is. Get over it. It's easy. It really is not difficult at all. Do you have questions on this at all? 14, still on 214. What was the one we did last night that was the no triangle exists? What number was that? 17. Haha. Then I want you to do numbers 4, 5, 15, and 16. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, she only gave us 4 problems. Well, it's just disguise. This is how we have fun. Math teachers, I only assign 4 problems, but it's actually 4 problems with 10 parts each. No, not really. Pardon me? I don't know that they're all 3 parts each. Okay? But this is for homework. Now, you've done homework the last 2 nights. What should you maybe expect tomorrow? No homework, because you better be ready, because you may have something graded tomorrow after I answer all of your questions. If you have notes, you're going to be fine. If you don't have notes, you're not going to be fine. And you're not going to work together because I'm a heifer and don't care.